Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this webinar. I hope you are ready. Okay. Good morning again, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. This is the March edition of Career Central webinar series. And my name is Michael Achumba, and I'm going to be your host for today. I am super excited about today's topic, which is accelerating your career with project management certifications. Before we get right into it, I would like to do a little introduction. Before we get right into it, my name is Michael Achumba. I am a CPM certified project manager, and I am a learning and development professional. And I am very interested in education, capacity development, learning and development, and expanding the capacity of both people and organizations. I work with iCentra in the L&D team, and I deliver trainings in both public, private, and development sectors. And today we are going to be taking a deep dive into how you can be leveraging project management certifications to help you with your career. But before I introduce my speakers, I would like to lay down some groundwork. And first of all, I would like to meet everyone in the room right now. So you can go to the chat section and please write your name, your profession, and where you are joining us from. For example, if it's me, I'll write Michael Achumba, learning and development professional, Abuja, Nigeria. Let's get to meet you. Okay, I can't see anybody in the comment section. I'm looking forward to seeing people. I know there are a lot of people here. Please, let's introduce ourselves. Okay, hi, Ikechukwu. Your name, profession, and where you are joining us from. Oh, welcome, Esther from Abuja. Opashi. Oh, nice. Business coach for education leaders from Cambridge, UK. Welcome. Ikechukwu from Abuja, welcome. Belumi from Abuja, welcome. Wahab Sikiru from Al Wahab, Qatar, welcome. Olakiton from Benin City, Nigeria. Oh, welcome. Courage People, Administrative Officer from Abuja, Nigeria, welcome. Miriam Koko from Sokoto, welcome. Blessing from Abuja, welcome. Nice to meet you, Blessing. Let's keep them coming in so that we know. So we have Benin City, we have Abuja, we have someone from Qatar, we have someone from the UK, Cambridge. Peter Abilis from Abuja, welcome. Ruth Thomas from Jos, Nigeria, welcome. Uche Uchena from Abuja, welcome. Soumi Williams from Lagos, welcome. Kende Adele, accountant from Abuja, welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. I don't know if everybody's as excited as me, because I really want to know how I can move forward, because I just recently got certified as a certified associate project manager with PMI, that's the CAPM, and I am looking forward to learning how I can take that as my wings and fly in my career. But before I introduce our speakers for today and our panelists for today, I would like to lay down some background work so that we can know what we are speaking to. So recently, PMI issued a talent gap report of 2021 that looked at the opportunities and the outlook for the next 10 years, 2019 to 2030, for the project management oriented employment in the economy, in the project management economy. And I want to speak to that report so that that will form a basis for why we need to get into this project management economy. So, I'll lay a little background. I already did that, and I'll speak to some project management oriented employment statistics and some project management certification statistics, and how we can now walk away from that and move our careers forward and move our careers to the next level. So first of all, some PMOE statistics. The global economy needs 25 million new project professionals by 2030 to close the talent gap. That is about 2.3 million people every year just to keep up with the demand, and 2.5 if we are going to exceed that demand of both project managers and all sorts of change makers. Half of that being because of expansion and half of that being because of retirements. This slide speaks to the spread of what does that 2.3 million people, the spread. You can see in China, in Europe, China having a bulk of it, and South Asia, Europe, both Middle East and North Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa. In every single continent on the globe, there is a need for project professionals who will take different kind of projects, whether it be software, hardware, construction, manufacturing. We need people who will be able to take those projects from point A to point B of completion with minimal resources and the needed impact. And with the advent of COVID-19 and remote working, most of these jobs are available to anyone across the world. So even if the job openings are opening up in China, here in Nigeria, you can access the jobs. If the job opening is open up in Qatar, if you're in the US, you can access the jobs. If the job is open up in Chile, if you are in Nigeria, you can also access those jobs. So there's a whole lot happening, and we are trying to see how can we plug into this. This is a breakdown of the percentage change or the percentage growth for PMOEs in productized industries. We can see the highest being information and publishing, but you can see it cuts across manufacturing and construction, finance and insurance with the growth of fintech, management and professional services, utilities, oil and gas is the only point where it's basically the same, just a reduction by 0.1%. But we can see that we need more people who can help us move our livelihood, our projects from one point to the next sustainably. Here you can see the amount of growth. In Sub-Saharan Africa, we have over 40% growth. In the Middle East, 37%, Southeast Asia, 36%, Latin America, 30%. In every single continent, apart from Europe, you can see that there is a growth, a huge growth in the amount of project management oriented employment in productized industries between now and 2030. And that is why we are here. We want to see how can we plug into this. How can we plug into this? The next slide I think is important because I would like to speak to the fact that as in the developed economies, it's looking like most of the spaces are filled already. But you can see from Europe that there are more openings coming up, but because of retirement. So even in places where there's no much expansion happening, no much business, new frontiers for business, there are still people who are retiring, who are leaving spaces open for new project professionals to come in. So what does this mean for us? How do we close this gap? How do we bridge this gap? It is obvious we need more project professionals. How can a project professional stand out? Project management certifications. And that is why we are here. Just a little statistics around project management certifications. Right now in the world, from the PMI fact file of February 28, we have about 1.2 million project management professionals that's the PMP certified. And that also cuts across, you can see for the DASM, that is the Discipline Agile, the Certified Associate Project Management, PMI ACPs, and PGMB, PFMP, which are higher certifications. You can see the spread there, but we have just about 1.3 million global holders right now in the world, and we are looking for 2.3 million project professionals to move our economies forward, to move our lives forward, to move our countries forward, to move our regions forward. So we need to lay some emphasis on how we can get people in this economy, and also how they can use project management certifications as an accelerating tool towards their careers. I put in the Nigerian holders list so that we can see what that means. We have about 4,307 project management professionals in Nigeria, and that is about 0.33% of the amount of people in the world that are project management certified, PMP certified. So we have a lot of work to do here at home base, Nigeria, where I'm speaking from, and we also have a lot to do across the world with the expanding economy. Now there are no borders, so becoming a certified PMP, it opens you to a world of opportunities. We are already seeing that we have 2.3 million jobs up for the taking every year. So it is our decision to plug into that economy and move it to the next level. So the question is, how can you accelerate your career using project management? To help me discuss this, I have two wonderful professionals, Etido Ekwere and Esther Shirley Lolo. So Etido Ekwere is a data analyst who believes and is passionate about unlocking the voice of data across public institutions in his home country for social and sustainable development. A significant portion of his career is spent as a data analyst, working with tools of Tableau, R, SQL, Excel, among others. His contributions to the Tableau data community was globally recognized last year when he was named one of the Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Etido Ekwere is a data analyst passionate about unlocking the voice, I apologize for that, of data across public institutions. He's a significant portion of his career has been spent as a data analyst, working with tools of Tableau, R, SQL, Excel, among others. His contributions to the Tableau data community has been globally recognized last year, and he was named one of the 12 Tableau featured authors. Apart from working with data, he offers corporate training across the subjects of project management, data analysis, enterprise architecture, and personal development. By July 16 this year, he will be 10 years a certified project manager with the Project Management Institute. He has a Bachelor's of Science in Computer Science, an MBA from Durham University. He is also an authorized training partner instructor with the PMI, and a Google data analyst, and a trio of Tableau badges. His industry experience includes banking and finance, education, renewable energy, third sector. Welcome, Mr. Etido. Mr. Etido, can you say hi?
Hello. Thank you, Michael. Can you hear me? Hi, Michael. Can you hear me? Hello? Michael, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Michael?
Yes, Mr. Etido, I think we can hear you. Hello.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Esther.
No way. Hello.
Hello, Esther.
Okay, this is Michael. Can you hear me clearly? I don't know what happened. My location. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, let me so I was introducing Esther. Esther Shirley Lolo is a PMP certified project manager and an experienced business consultant and process manager with 4+ years expertise in management consulting for clients across the public and private sectors, supporting and leading projects in digital transformation, capacity building, strategy development, policy documentation, information security, risks and performance management, and organizational capacity assessment and audits. She's an active member of Project Management Institute and the Nigerian Institute of Management, and holds a double degree in economics and management from Monash University, South Africa, and honors in economics from the University of Johannesburg, South Africa, and an MBA from Nile University of Nigeria. Her expertise is in B2B and B2C engagement. She's currently a senior associate in the business delivery unit of iCentra and leads the learning and development unit of iCentra Academy, which is focused on meeting the learning needs of organizations through capacity building, through capacity capacity building, and delivering trainings in public, private, and development sectors. Welcome, Esther, Shirley, Lolo. So let's get into it quickly. The first question that comes to mind, Mr. Etido Ekwere, is how can we leverage project management certifications, and how have you leveraged project management certifications in your own career? That's the first question that comes to mind.
Okay, thank you very much, Esther, Michael, and also welcome everyone who is in this meeting today. We're glad to have you. Okay, we're glad to have you. Welcome once again. A quick one will be, I'm sure you know that there is a slogan that says that a Harvard professor is a Harvard student or a Harvard alumni is not above the other one. What it practically means is that as a Harvard alumni, you can speak to any Harvard alumni, anyone, no matter how highly placed he or she is. I want to believe everyone is hearing me clearly. Hello?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so what it generally means is, as a Harvard alumni, I can speak to any Harvard alumni that I want to, no matter how highly placed he or she is. Now, the same thing applies. You said, how have I leveraged my certification? Now, just by having that symbol on my name, if I see that symbol on your name, I can open a conversation. That's one of the biggest ones for me throughout my career. Now, being a project management professional, a PMP, really literally, it's actually a global certification, and it's ranked very highly among other ones. But the beautiful thing about being PMP is that it cuts across sectors. It's the knowledge you can deploy across all sectors. I think Michael did a good job earlier showing us how the application of PMP or project management across different sectors. Now, there is a key thing. There are things I'm going to bring out, which you're going to realize when you get yourself really deep involved into PMP, which is the very first one is the ability of being trained and practicing, because it's something about being trained. It's another thing about practicing what you've been trained. The day you get trained in PMP and you begin to practice the ethics and the principles of PMP, you realize how you just suddenly become a leader. It works like magic, really. Why do you become a leader? What are the three constraints of life that every one of us is struggling with? One of them is scope. What should I do? How should I do it? What should I get involved in? Who should be my friend? Who should not be my friend? Scope. It's a big constraint for every one of us, whether in life or whether in our careers. And the very second one of them is cost. Everything comes as a price, whether learning to be a data analyst, learning to be a software engineer, learning something in construction, whatever, learning even to be, and this is one of our visitors today, it's a professor, or even growing to become a professor. It takes time and a lot of investment, money and time. Now, this triple constraint of cost, time, and schedule is what every one of us is struggling with every day of our lives. Where should I apply my money? What should I do? And how much time do I have to do all of that? And this is the beautiful things you are going to learn when you become PMP certified, or when you start your journey into being PMP certified. Because they teach you how to understand scope, how to understand cost, how to understand time, and manage this constraint with the sole aim of what? Hitting at quality. Now, if you were new to PMP, or if you've been on PMP for a long time, I'm going to draw on a few things. I do a lot of remote work. And because I do a lot of remote work, there is a new area that PMP has focused recently, which is virtual teams. Now they've pulled the binoculars or so right into virtual things because of the remote economy. Now, when you are dealing with a remote economy or when you're working remotely, one of the key things you always need to carry at the back of your mind is ability to keep everybody on the team engaged. Now, these are things you will learn for free learning PMP, which is use of visual representations like the Kanban board, the burn down chart. Just by people seeing themselves, seeing those charts and being able to engage with those things, they are able to stay engaged on your team. The power of communicating. You see, sometimes you see when you're looking at a job, you see something like the person has to be a strong communicator. The power of communication is one of the first things you're going to hear back to back on the PMP model. You need to communicate more as a project manager. Speak. Let your words, it doesn't have to be with Queen's English, but let your words be understood by everyone on the team. So, being someone who works more or less remotely most of my life, being certified as a PMP has helped me develop a strong culture. And when it comes to speaking, I don't come last. I speak always, communicate, and you'll have a way of detailing. If I want to get something done, I detail it. I think that's why those who have worked with me in the past have enjoyed working with me, because I detail to you step by step what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, when it needs to be done. And this skill of being able to engage others is what will keep you on teams over and again, because they keep calling you back, come back. Why? Because they know you can deliver. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about, they said, what was my question again? It says, how has project management improved your career? I think I've taken a lot of time already, but allow me to just touch on one few things. Now, one of the little things is problem-solving skills. Now, your ability to keep, I need to stop it here now so I don't take the whole time. Your ability to manage people, engage people is a strong leadership statement. And that will impact your income, my friends. When people see you as a leader, they know that you are constantly bringing value. They know that if they lose you on the team, it's going to affect the quality of their work. The next thing they want to do is, if you say you want to be out of that thing, they ask you, how can we be of help? Can we raise your income? Is it about the money or something else? So these are the few things that I would love to draw on. And I think I need to stop there so that I don't take the whole time, Michael. All right, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Etido. Thank you so much. That was quite insightful. If I heard you clearly, you talked about project and problem-solving skills that come. You talked about being able to be a leader because you begin to see life as a project. You can see that there is a scope to things, there's a cost to things, there is a schedule. You have to put all of that in the balance for you to actually succeed, not just in career right now, but in your life in general. Thank you so much for that. I will throw the same question to Esther. So how has being a certified project management professional improved your career?
All right, thank you very much, Michael, for that question. Good morning, everyone. I hope that I am very audible and everybody is able to hear me. So I think your question is, how has project management certification, that is PMP, helped to improve my career? So I think I like the aspect that Mr. Etido came from. I think maybe I'll try and make mine a little bit more practical. So I studied economics and management in school. And when I was done with school, after my service, I volunteered with some NGOs actually. And that was when I first heard about project management. I just had like a very basic knowledge. And then afterwards, when I started my career at iCentra, That was when I had a very good understanding of project management or project management methodology and the framework and how to apply them for effective project delivery. Now, from there, I was put in as a project support for a couple of projects. And I think afterwards, I decided to take the PMP certification. So I think one of the first things that the PMP certification did for my career or for myself as a person is it validated my project management knowledge and experience. So you don't just speak in the room as someone who has probably managed project, but as someone who is globally certified as a project manager. So I talk to clients from a place of knowledge, from a place of experience. Nobody has to doubt if you are qualified or not, because your PMP certification already speaks for you. And so the first is to validate my knowledge and understanding and expertise as a PMP. I work in the learning and development unit actually in my organization. And we also help individuals, to train for certifications and other areas. So there was a time a client, after speaking with him about PMP, and he was really excited about it. And then he asked me, so are you PMP certified? Do you want to tell me, about all the experience in writing the exams? And I went mute. Why? Because as much as I had the experience and I had the knowledge, but I was not certified. So it still seemed like I wasn't coming from a point of experience and speaking as an expert. And so this has now changed, because now that I am PMP certified, I am able to speak from a point of experience. I'm able to develop process assets for my organization that help other delegates to be able to pass their PMP. So the first for me will be to validate my project management. And then I think secondly is, of course, which I think is very important, is the salary increase and promotion that comes with being PMP certified. I'm not saying it necessarily applies to all organizations and to all industry, but mostly it does. So after I got PMP certified, I know organizations operate differently. For some, you may probably need some level of experience to be able to climb up the ladder. And then for some, they actually allow, even though if you have some level of experience with a certification like PMP, you are able to climb the ladder quickly. And I think that that was one of the perks for me. According to the PMI survey that they do, they carry out yearly on salary, just to buttress what I said also, it shows that individuals that are PMP certified, they usually have an average of 22% increase in their salary and other compensation and promotion when they are certified compared to when they are not certified. So definitely the benefit it comes, I think Mr. Etido was talking about value, and even in terms of financial value that comes to you also, such that the cost actually outweighs the benefits. And then I think the last one I'll talk about is the opportunity for me to be able to work on multiple projects and in different industries. So when you are PMP certified, you are globally certified to be a project manager anywhere in the world and in any industry. The framework, so having an understanding of the framework, whether you need to apply agile or hybrid or predictive, you will be able to use that into any of the industries that you actually work in. So my PMP certification has actually allowed me to work in different industries, in the private sector, in the public sector, in the development sector, where we don't just deliver and implement projects from a place of knowledge, but from a place of experience, where you actually have project success and delivery. So for me, I think if I have to summarize it, those are the three areas. So first of all, validating my understanding of project management experience and knowledge, and then the opportunities that it availed me to work on multiple projects and in different industries. And I think lastly, also the financial benefit that comes with it. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much, Esther. That was very, very apt. From what you said, you are saying that it helps put a rubber stamp, like a seal of yes, this person has an experience. That's talking about the PMP. That's talking about the PMP. You are saying, oh, this person has a seal of experience. this person can come into the room and this person actually can do what he says he can do. If I'm getting you correctly, that is one of the major benefits of having the PMP. Thank you so much for that. The next question I can now think that comes to mind is, what opportunities are there as a certified project manager? What opportunities are there? Are there specific opportunities that are open to people who are certified, so that our audience can really see where they can put their hands in? Mr. Etido, I think you'll go first. What opportunities do you think we can leverage on right now with project management certifications?
All right, thank you very much, Michael. However, I noticed someone asked from the audience saying that he would have loved to see my face. I'm sure I'm not the one stopping them. I think Michael has stopped them from seeing my face. So I hope you guys don't mind. Michael, so that's up to you, really. Okay, what opportunities can be explored with project management? There are a lot, and it will be hard to actually list out all the opportunities that are lumped up in just getting one certification. Now, whereas some certifications are a bit industry specific, being a PMP certified fellow builds you across all industry. I think Esther has touched on that a whole lot. Now, and even also when the chart Michael brought forward showed up a lot of things, from education, manufacturing, healthcare, humanitarian, and all of that. So you cannot go wrong. You can find yourself in any industry. So I'd say this. I said all of that to say this. First and foremost, you need to first also think about whatever is in your heart, whatever industry is in your heart, you can find your way there with a PMP certification, whatever. There are three key things that every employer is looking for. The very first one they're looking for is how to satisfy their customers. And that's one thing that PMP would give to you. Now, the very second thing that every employer is looking for is how to improve work culture. PMP will give that to you. Your learning, your development, your experience will come. And then the last one, it also is trying to raise competent and reliable staff. Every employer wants to have 1, 2, 3 staff that they can rely on morning, afternoon, night. I think I touched on that earlier about how much you can be relied on just by getting certified. Learning and developing yourself around the PMP model will literally hand all of that into your care. So whatever industry you're thinking of, there is a place for you, because every industry runs a project or two. Let's even start by yours. For those who are married, your kids are a project. For those who are not married, your personality is a project. Your personal brand is a project. You're doing projects every day. You want to buy a car, you want to build a house, it's a project. You want to renovate your parents' place, it's a project. You want to give back to a charity, it's a project. Why? It has a start date and has an end date. There's a schedule attached to it and there is a cost attached to it. So there is literally no industry, from the third sector, humanitarian, education, where you cannot function. The opportunities are enormous. I'd say whatever appeals to you, whatever makes you happy, you can find a place there.
Thank you so much, Etido. That was insightful. So if I heard you correctly, with project management, you can't go wrong with the industry, whether it is in manufacturing, construction, information, publishing, humanitarian services, NGO space, development, learning. Being a certified project manager stands you out in all these sectors, even in your personal life.
Yes, perfect. Yes, I agree.
That's good news. I think that's good news for everyone. So if I want to stand out as a leader in any sphere, a way I can go is to become a project management certified, whether that is CAPM, PMP, PGMP, PFMP, depending on my level of experience. Right.
Very well.
Thank you so much, Etido. Before I throw the same question to Esther, please, if you have any questions, please put it in the question Q&A. You can see a Q&A below your screen, or if you click more. If you click more, you can see the Q&A. Please write your questions so that we can get them and speak to them. Thank you so much. So Esther, same question. What opportunities do you think can be explored as with project management certification?
All right, Michael, thank you for the question. I think one thing that is very key is what Mr. Etido had earlier discussed, the fact that having a PMP means you can work in any sector. Now, just going back to the presentation you had earlier, when you were showing the research done by PMI, that is the talent gap report that was done by PMI in 2021, which shows that there is a gap between the demand of project managers and also the availability of the talent. And I think from that statistics, it also shows that for us to be able to close that gap, that it will require 2.3 million people to enter the project management oriented employment. So I think that that is what is really key, that there is the demand for it. There is the demand for it. And the supply is actually the problem. I think also that when you check the top 15 in-demand certification globally, project management certification, which is PMI, is one of the major certifications that is in demand. And I think for people that are also looking for opportunities to relocate or to travel out of the country, this comes very handy because you want to differentiate yourself. You also want to have skills and experience that open the doors for you when you look for jobs abroad. And I think that that is where the PMP certification comes in handy, because I know even most organizations right now, when they are trying to hire project managers, having a PMP certification is a key requirement. So even though you go and sell yourself in the room, you should be able to have the certification itself that opens the door for you. So that is very, very important. And then bringing it back to Nigeria, I think from the stats again that Michael showed, we have about 1.2 million PMP certified in globally. And we have just 4,000, we have just about, from the statistic, I think we have just about 4,000 in Nigeria, which is very low. I think that's about 0.3%. And then for CAPM, we have about 52,000 globally, and we have just, I think 140 in Nigeria, which is still very low. That means that there is so much gap in the industry in terms of wanting certified project managers. So I think, first of all, it is a globally recognized certification, which you can use to practice PM anywhere around the world. And then secondly, there is the demand for it in every industry. So I think that it would be very good for us to put that into account, whether you want to upskill yourself, whether you want to learn, you want to get certified, or you want to upskill, or you want more credibility. I think it is very important for us to leverage on the PMP certification. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you so much. Your answers were key, from being able to get into jobs across the globe to being able to take advantage of the 2.3 million openings that are happening across the globe too. Thank you so much. I think right now I would like to take questions from the audience. If you have a question, please put it in the Q&A. You can see the Q&A just at the top of your Zoom if you're using your phone, or if you're using a laptop, you can see it below. Just click and post up your question. I already see a question in our chat right now. I already see a question in our chat from Ajiro. So please you can post up your questions so that we can answer those questions around project management certifications. Thank you. So next, the final question I think I will ask my speakers before I begin taking questions from the audience is about Agile project management. In the world right now, Agile project management is a rave. There's an increase in the adoption of Agile project management across industries, no longer around software development, in construction, in manufacturing, even in small businesses. Agile project management has become a thing for the now. It's in project management. So I would like to know what exactly is the difference between the traditional project management as it was and Agile project management, and what does that mean for people who are looking into getting into project management, and what certifications are available around Agile project management. So I would like two of our speakers to speak to that. Mr. Etido, I think you'll go first. What's Agile project management? Why should we even think about it? Why should we talk about it? Why is it such a rave right now?
All right, that's cool. Agile project. I think the very first thing that we need to know is what is traditional. And then we can now go into what is agile. Prior to this time, let's take, for instance, if you were going to build a house. If you're going to build a house, the first thing you're going to do is to collect all the requirements. And then you go into fulfilling those requirements one after the other. How do you fulfill those requirements? The very first thing is you go dig the, the foundation, fill it up, and then raise the house gradually as stated. So more or less, you go by the books. Now, but if you were to build that house, you go by the books. So you call it, it's called a project designed by plan. Everything has been planned out, and then you are now following the plan from start to finish. What was the biggest problem about this kind of project? Now, imagine if you've ever had an experience. I have witnessed people who have built houses for like 5 years, 4 years, even 10 years. Now, if you've had an experience like that, by the time the house is finally completed, that house is no longer trendy, because the style that they had adopted at the time when they wanted to build and the house they're going to get at the end of that building, it's no longer fit for the current season. So basically, what happens is this. The Agile platform, the Agile methodology was made to cope such experiences. So how does this work? There are 4 things for which the Agile platform is founded on. And the very first one of them is called the customer collaboration. The customer collaborates with you from day one till the very last day. And the Agile methodology was actually designed particularly for software projects. It started out for software projects. And if you are into IT or anything tech, you will realize that nothing in tech is stable. Take for instance, I'm sure even if you're not into tech, you know about the iPhones. The iPhones have been changing series every other year or 2 years. It means that as the technology becomes better, they up their game. Same thing happens in every other thing, in software and all of that. As the technology becomes better, everything in IT steps up. Everything steps up. Now, the collaboration between the customer is constantly talking to you, telling you, this is what we want you to do. This is how we want you to do it. Is what is called the Agile methodology. That is the first foundation for the Agile methodology. Unlike the traditional methodology where they pack the requirements and they give it to you and says, go and fulfill those requirements by the book. That's why we say in PM, we say this. Traditional methodologies are driven by plan. Agile is driven by people. That's the first thing. The second thing you need to remember about the Agile methodology is that it is very flexible to change. It means at any point, I can step up and tell you, we need to change something and you need to listen to me. So the scope is not fixed for Agile, but the scope is fixed for traditional. I want to be sure, I hope you guys are getting those two things. I've said two things already, customer collaboration, and I've said something about fixed scope and flexible scope. We talked about the adaptability to change. Now, the third thing you need to remember about the Agile, which is not also there in the traditional, is what you call motivated teams. Now, if you work in IT also, like I said, the Agile methodology was framed around IT, but is increasingly being adopted across all areas of life. Motivated teams, everybody in the team has to be motivated to work. You see, in the normal workplace, you have the very hardworking people and those who are just tagging along. But in IT projects, we can't afford to have you tag along. You have to be doing what you ought to do. So everyone in the team is motivated. They see what needs to be done. They go ahead and do it and they get results. The last thing you need to remember, if the customer is collaborating with you, you are flexible to change. The entire team is motivated, but you don't have working software, then it's not an Agile methodology. That's why if you also have looked at the job market lately, you would see someone who is, one of the requirements for you to get a job these days, they said motivated to work. So it means that they're saying the world is becoming more agile than traditional. Because it's not everything they will tell you. In traditional, they'll tell you what to do, but in Agile, you need to wake up and say, what is happening? What can I do? Get yourself doing something so that you can finish your work on time. 4 things, and I'll repeat them again. The very first one, the customer collaborates with you. It means it's so close to your skin. You are flexible to change. The third one is what? The team is motivated and there is a working software or a working product or a working service, whichever one works for you. These are the 4 things that inform or define what an Agile thing is. And if you agree with me, everything in the world is going Agile, everything. People want to be part of, even your tailor, you want to be part of your tailor's life, you want to be part of your barber's life, everything is going Agile. You want to inform what is happening around your life. And that's exactly why the buzz around Agile is increasing by the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Etido. That it's a very calculated breakdown of what Agile is about and why it's important and why everybody's going towards Agile. So my question to Esther is, what certifications are available for people who want to toe that part of Agile project management? For example, people who want to go into software development, who want to go into industries that emphasize the Agile project management methodologies. What certifications are available for them?
Okay, Michael, if I get your question, you asked about how one can be PMP certified. Is that your question?
No, I said my question is, we just, Etido just gave a breakdown of Agile project management and how it is the rave now and why it is the rave. So I'm saying, are there any, what are your thoughts on that? And are these certifications that people can leverage if they want to go into Agile project management?
All right, Michael. Thank you very much for that question. Okay, so yes, there are a range of certifications that one can actually leverage on. First of all, the PMP certification itself, it's a combination of, just like Mr. Etido clearly explained, it's a combination of traditional, agile, and hybrid methodology to project management. So by taking the PMP certification itself, you already have an understanding of agile and hybrid and also predictive. So I think that is highly recommended. And then PMI also has some certifications that are in the line of agile. We have the PMI ACP. That is one of the key certifications for Agile that one can actually take advantage of. There will be a slide, or I think we'll just share it to all the participants, a very detailed slide that explains all the certifications that relate to PMI and also Agile Project Management. But I think the ones I'll recommend right now, of course, is the PMP, and then the ACP, that is the Agile Certified Professional.
Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you so much, Esther. So we have a couple of questions in the Q&A, and I would like us to touch on as much as we can. We have one. The first one here says, what are the steps in becoming a program management certified professional coming from a 0 level of PMI certification? So I think what he's saying is he has no certification, but he wants to become a program management professional. Esther, can you speak to that?
Okay, I think I'll take that question since Michael's network is a bit bad. Okay, so if I get the question right, what are the requirements of becoming a program management professional, which is the PGMP? So I think to drill down, I will start with the CAPM, the PMP, and then the PGMP, because actually you need to start from a point. So first of all, if you don't have any work experience, or you have 0 to 3 year work experience, then the CAPM certification is for you. For that, you are not really required to have any work experience. You are just required to have 28 contact hours of studies. So by taking a project management training, you are qualified to write the CAPM exams. And then when you have about 3 years working experience and above, the next certification you qualify for is the PMP, which is the Project Management Professional. Secondary school certificate, then you need 5 years of experience and also 35 contact hours of project management education. Mostly that is what our training offers you, the 35 contact hours. So that is what you need. Oh, please, can you hear me? I can't see a feedback from Felix. Please, if you can hear me, can you just type yes?
Yeah, we lost you for a bit after 3 years of experience. So I think you can go on from PMP.
All right, thank you, Michael. Okay, so for the PMP certification, I said you need to have at least 3 years of experience supporting or managing or directing projects. So that's about 4,500 hours of being on projects. So there is usually a professional requirement and an educational requirement. So with the professional requirement is about your experience, and the professional requirement, you will see that it is not a requirement for CAPM because they know that you are just starting up. So the only requirement for CAPM is that you take a training on project management, you have an understanding of project management on the knowledge areas, and you're able to take the exam. But for PMP, remember the certification is supposed to validate that you are a project manager. Because I see people who say that I don't have project management experience, but somehow they want to be certified, and that is a problem. So if you want to be PMP certified, you need to have already been working on projects. The certification is supposed to validate that you are a project manager. So like I said, you will need 3 years of experience and 35 contact hours of training, which is exactly what our PMP training will give. PMP. Then for PGMP, which is the Program Management certification. With the PGMP now, it is expected that you have more than 10 years of work experience. The requirement is about 15 years of work experience. So you are a C-level executive that have moved from not just handling projects, but from also handling programs. So if you don't have a PMI certification, but you have about 15 years of work experience, then you can actually be eligible for the exams if you take so there's usually an educational and a professional aspect to the exam. So first of all, like I said, a 4-year degree, then 15 years of work experience, or you can also have 40 hours of education, which can also be replaced if you have a PMP. So if you have a PMP, you don't need that educational hours. All you need is just to have 15 years of work experience, and then you can be able to be a PGMP. Then I think the last one is the Portfolio Management Certification, that is the PFMP. It is almost aligned with the PGMP as well. You need to have more than 15 years or about 15 years of work experience, and also either a PFMP, but you don't need a PGMP to write a PFMP. So I hope that that is very clear. For CAPM, for PMP, for PJMP, and for PFMP. But for the purpose of this webinar, I think our focus is more for the CAPM and the PMP. But I think for more information, or if you are really interested in any of the exams, you can also reach out to us, and then we can be able to provide better information. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much, Esther. So we will run now to the next question. So the next question is, I would like to know how I can start my journey in project management. This is from Donaldin Harry. So this is a complete beginner. How do I start my journey in project management? Mr. Etido, I think you can speak to that.
All right, how do I start my journey in project management? I think the very first way to start your journey in project management is maybe speak to us. I think that's the first thing. Speak to us. Michael, please just drop our email. Speak to us, and then we will give you a detailed guide. One of the first things we'll give to you is we will introduce you to one of our training modules that will train you on everything you need to know. Is it either the fundamentals or the full bouquet of training for project management? Once you are done with that, we'll help you to register you with PMI, where you can get career content from PMI to further educate your own self and also write the exam. So I think that's a good way to start.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Etido. So you can reach out to us. So we have two more questions. Okay, how can we maximize project management in the education industry, and which methodology would be the most applicable? So how do we maximize project management in the education industry, and which methodology will be the most applicable? So I think I would like both Esther and Etido to speak to this, but I think Esther should go first. The question again is, how can we maximize project management in the education industry, and what methodology is the most applicable? Hello, Esther, are you there? I think we lost Esther. Mr. Etido, can you speak to that? How can we maximize project management in the education industry?
Okay, I think that question is from if I'm not wrong. I think
Yes,
the very
is.
first, yeah, it's a good way to answer that is this. Every child is a project, and you can tie it around each child. Now, every cohort of students is also a project. You can tie it around a cohort. So the very first thing is, what do you want to achieve? Because every project has an outcome, a product, a service. So let me say, let me use what I do. I'm training you for anything. I have an idea of 5 or 6 things at the end of the session of the training I want you to get. I just sure want you to get it, you see. Now, the best methodology I would use, it's Agile, because that is the customer is there with me. Because as I'm talking to you, I need to elicit feedback from you to find out, are you with me? Are there things you don't understand? Are there better ways I can explain? Are there better ways I can explain the subject matter to you? And you see, engaging you feeds me with how best to deliver what you are asking for. So very obviously Agile. And what to do, how to apply it. Think about what you are trying to do. Is it per person as a project, or per cohort as a project? Once you get that and you find out what your end goal is about, you've already defined your methodology, your scope, you know your methodology, go ahead. There is a schedule. You can't teach a child forever. You have a child, the child is 4 years, you are a teacher, and you have 1 year to teach this child. At the end of 1 year, the schedule there is 1 year. At the end of 1 year, what is the outcome that I must bring out in these children? That child will not be in your class forever. So at the end of 1 year, I need to target. There is an outcome I must bring out from this child, and I won't let that slip. So whatever you are doing, you're talking, you are mentoring, you're delivering a lecture, you know the target of where you are driving this child to. I think that is it.
Thank you so much, Etido. Thank you so much, Etido. That is very apt. I would we have one more question in the chat box, and I would like to take just one more question. You can raise your hand if you have a question you want to speak, so that we can take your question. I'll take two more, one from the chat box and one from the audience who haven't spoken. So let's take the question in the chat box first. Someone is asking, I think this question is, Esther will be able to speak to this, asking, how long does the PMP certification last? What's the duration of the classes, and how many contacts hours per week? And what are the basic differences for the various certifications you have? I think Esther has already spoken to the last section of that question. So he wants to he's asking how long the PMP certification lasts, what are the duration for the trainings, what are the contact hours, and what are the days?
All right, Michael, thank you very much for that question. So what is required by PMI is 35 contact hours. The 35 contact hours, so usually, I'll give example with our PMP training. Usually our PMP training are for 6 days. It is virtual because most people that want to be PMP certified are actually professionals. So our training is for 6 days. In those 6 days, we are able to cover up all the areas that needs to be covered. You are going to get actually more than 35 contact hours of study. But now what we do beyond just training, we usually have a hand-holding plan. So we handhold our students to certification. We don't just train you and then that is all. No. So after the training, we create a study plan. You can commence the study plan either before and either when the training has just started, or you can commence the study plan after the training. But if you are dedicated, I think in 4 weeks, you should prepare to write the exam. So our training is for 6 days. That is 3 weekends, Saturday and Sunday for 3 weekends. So while the training is going on, the video recording will be shared with you. You have access to it. And then we share a study plan with you. The study plan depends on your availability. So how many hours are you able to dedicate a day to study? So if, for example, you want to dedicate 2 hours a day, then there's a study plan for you. If you have so much time and you want to dedicate 4 hours a day, the study plan goes with whatever works for you. It is very flexible. And then once you're done with the training, because we are an authorized trainer, a premier status authorized trainer with PMI, we also have access to question banks. So we have 2 mock exams. It will feel as though you are writing the PMP exams. We don't develop those questions. Those questions come directly from PMI. That is the project management body that certifies you itself. So you're going to have it like a mock exams, like a trial exams. We actually have 2. And then once you are done with that trial exams, you don't have a one-on-one session with one of our ATP trainers just for revision before you actually write the exam. So, and also we put you in a study group. So you're in a group with the sets in your class and you're able to work together and study together. So again, the exams is for 6 days, which is 3 weekends. And after the work with you through your journey to becoming, whether it's PMP or it's CAPM certified or it's PJMP or it's PFMP, we don't just train you and then that is over. I hope that answers the questions clearly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Esther. I hope that answers the question for Mr. Felix. Thank you so much, Esther. I hope that answers the question for Felix. Thank you so much. So we have time for just one more question. Just one more. You can raise your hand and then we'll let you speak. Okay, Felix said it answers his question. Any other questions? Okay, so I think there are no more questions. before we end this webinar, there are two things I would like to touch. First of all, I would like to thank our speakers, Mr. Etido Ekwere, for the insights and knowledge. He took his time, just like an instructor that he is, to break it down for us so that we can see how we can take these certifications and actually leverage them to make the most out of our careers and even our personal lives. Also, I would like to talk about our PMP class and our CAPM classes, because I can see a lot of people are asking about it. So I'm going to, okay, Secure Wahab just asked about it. So I'm just going to give a breakdown. Just like Esther said, we have our PMP classes bi-monthly, and the next cohort is coming up starting in April. And if you want to be a part of that, you can always reach out to us. I'll put in our numbers and our email so you can reach out to us and register and book your spot for that class. The class is virtual. The training is 6 days, 3 weekends, and it goes for 150,000 naira for a person, for one participant. And the good thing is, because you are part of this webinar, we'll be doing a 48-hour 20% discount for anybody who was part of this webinar to register for either the PMP or the CAPM. They are both 6 days, they are both 3 weekends, and CAPM goes for 107,500 and the PMP goes for 150,000. And there is a 20% discount on both of those for 48 hours, starting from 12 today to 12 on Friday, on Saturday, 12 today to 12 p.m. on Saturday. Please take advantage of this discount. It's going to expire on Saturday, 12 p.m. I'll share our contact address. If you want to reach us, you can reach us at www.learning.icentra.com, or you can send us an email, learning@icentra.com. I'll put those in the comment section. So again, it's www.learning.icentra.com, and you can email us at learning@icentra.com. I believe that everyone who has been part of this, webinar has had so much fun and so much value. And I hope we are able to leverage our project management certifications in the future and move forward in our careers. Thank you so much. Please don't forget, you can reach out to us, learning@icentra.com, send us an email, and our team will get back to you immediately. Thank you so much. Thank you, Etido. Any last words for our audience, Etido, Esther?
Yeah, from myself and the entire team, I think I would say thank you to everyone who joined us. You can connect with us on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you find us. And we'll be happy to help you on your journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Etido. Esther, any last words? Hello, Esther. Is Esther there? I think she's off. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for being part of this webinar. So see you next month, the month of April. This webinar series happens every month, starting from now. So we're looking forward to seeing all of us next month. Thank you so much and bye-bye. Please, I'm putting all the information. Follow us on our handles at iCentra and at iCentra Academy on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter. We are there. Thank you so much.